Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, my name is T and I like to play The Sims. Today I thought we're gonna do a little challenge in the Riverside Roost house or lot. I decided to do the color challenge. I don't even know if it's an official challenge, but I thought it might be interesting to have every room in a different color. Now I did use my phone to pick the colors for me, and I whittled it down to the colors that you can actually select in the filter of the buy and build mode. So we have red, pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, gray, black, and brown. And I know there's light brown and dark brown, but I just had it as brown. And the first thing we did was obviously the outside, and that was red. So we started strong with a very in-your-face color, and I didn't even know if that's going to be a good idea, because if you zoom out in that lot, all the other houses are like a muted beige white kind of color. But I figured, you know what, they're probably the new neighbors that want to stand out. They just got the money to buy this house, and they just want to be different. They want to be seen. Now, I already can tell you I did not really stay within a starter home budget, so this is definitely not a starter home. I think it ended up being like 60,000 simoleons, so it definitely is for the already somewhat established sim in your game. It did turn out to be a lot better than I expected it to be, because I thought it might be a absolute chaotic house. But I think except for gray and orange, we had all the colors, with purple I think just being a color for where the stairs are, so that's not really an exciting room, but everything else is it turned out pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with it. And here I'm just putting down the furniture just to plan how big of a room everything has to be to fit stuff in. And I also figured I didn't want to have only like 3 rooms, because then that challenge wouldn't make much sense, now would it? So we have the kitchen right in the front and the living and lounge room, and then I divided it up into another bedroom downstairs and like an office or something. I didn't really know what to do with that yet. I just figured, you know, just have another room for another color. And then upstairs is the main bathroom and master bedroom and a little closet. And yes, the closet also has its own color. But yeah, let's just jump in. The first color I got was pink, and I just thought maybe that's a family in there that has a teenage daughter that just loves the color pink. So I just went along and just, you know, did a more like a teen girl bedroom there, but you could easily change it into whatever you want. I think yesterday I saw a tweet on Twitter or X or whatever you call it these days, of somebody saying that please, whenever you build big houses, don't always put 2 or 3 kids' bedrooms in there, because I need it for my 8 Sims household that doesn't have kids. So I will definitely keep that in mind next time I do a renovation that is a bit bigger. But here we just have a kids or teenager room. And technically, if you really wanted to, I guess that would also fit a young adult sim. So it's not necessarily a teenage or kid room. It's just like a girly room that could fit to any sim. And yeah, I just, you know, liked obviously the high school years expansion pack and the pink desk from the Dream Home Decorator. And I just thought she likes pink, and I also put in here you can see a little corner where she reads, so she just loves her books. And the color pink and clothes and, you know, fluffy and cute items. So we just went along with that theme. And I really like that rug from the Horse expansion pack, or Horse Ranch expansion pack, sorry. Because it's so versatile, and it just can, you know, there's so many colors in it that it not only matches with pink, but also with yellow, with beige, with orange, with white. It's just really, really good rug there. And here we just add a few posters, you know, what the typical things you would actually find, I would assume, at least my room when I was a teenager looked like that. Posters and everything that you would find in a teenage girl's bedroom these days. Some pictures of her friends, or maybe it's like an inspirational board or vision board of things that you would like to do. Obviously the latest boy band poster, we all had these. And just, you know, cute things that she probably just collects from all over the place. And her little reading nook with some clothes hanging there and a few books up there. And I think that last poster, I think, is the unofficial Harry Potter poster. Next we have the living room, and the living room was the brown color. So as I said earlier, I did the dark and light brown in one category because I didn't want to have two brown themed rooms. So I just figured I'll just put that in one room. And here I struggled a bit with where to put the couch and the TV. And I ended up turning it around and putting it against the wall because I will have an opening to the stairway there, right next to the stairway, obviously. So I thought we'll just put the couch in between those doors and just have the TV on the other wall. And it's a very expansive and roomy living room, I gotta tell you. I usually do the more cost-conscious renovations, so this time it was kind of nice to not really be that much or not pay that much attention to the budget and what we're using it for. So that was kind of really nice to just go with the flow and, you know, use whatever I feel like, what I feel like fits the house and the vibe and the family I imagine that lives there. And at the end of the video, I also downloaded a family to move in there, which I thought would fit the style and the vibe of this house. And here again, I was struggling with the carpet or the rug, and I don't know why I'm always struggling so much with rugs. It's just tough for me. I wish maybe I need to download more rugs from custom content creators. But yeah, I ended up using one of my favorite rugs. It is not entirely brown. It has a little bit of pink in it and gold, but I thought it's okay because I didn't want to be super strict with the colors and have only those colors there. Otherwise that would be really weird, I feel like. And here we're just adding a few random decorative items to make it live or seem more lived in. I feel like that family would definitely always have drinks ready at the coffee table and some books and magazines that they bought, and probably the woman or the wife that lives in there probably has multiple subscriptions to decorating and interior design magazines. And here I've never used this play table or game table, whatever you call it, so I thought maybe this corner would be a good spot for that. And I also feel like that this family that lives in there has at least a small bar, not a full-on bar, but that little globe that you can, whenever you play with kids, I think they can even just kind of look at the world map, and I think they might even gain logic points with it, but I'm not 100% certain on that. So yeah, I thought they definitely have that, a little family board, so they can set some time and curfew times for the teenage girl. And a few pictures just to lighten it up a bit and, you know, just showing off. And it was really, because usually that's where whenever I do the more budget-friendly houses, that's where I usually become stingy because I don't want to spend too much money on unnecessary decorative items and pictures and paintings. But here it was just nice to go out, or to go all out. And then the next color was black, and I was really struggling if I really wanted a black kitchen, but then I was like, you know what, I don't think I've ever done a black kitchen, so let's just do that. And obviously I didn't make it black, so I just have, it's more like a black and white, with black being the number one or the main color. But yeah, it's also very spacious and roomy, lots of things to do, lots of clutter items, very lived in. And I think the kitchen might be actually the number one room for me in this house. That I really think it turned out really nice. I obviously used a lot of the stuff from the kitchen. I don't even know what it was called anymore. The latest kitchen kit that came out, I think a week or two ago. Kitchen clutter, maybe? I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, that little bench in the middle came from it, the scale, the grocery bag, the hanging fruit baskets. I really enjoy this kit, and I, when I'm not on a budget, I will probably use this kit a lot. And then we used the Home Chef Hustle counters. I don't think yes, the counters are also from there, and the cupboards up there. They're both from the Home Chef Hustle, just a sleek kind of looking cupboards and countertops and counters. And I also decided to just go with the black appliances and a black little rug there to keep spilling stuff onto the probably very expensive flooring. And the moment I decided on that flooring, I knew I would have to go with a glass table. I don't know why, but that was just the vision I had. So here we are with the glass table and trying to match chairs that are not too fancy, but also not too old style, I feel like, or too vintage, but also not too expensive, because I didn't want to spend too much on that. I didn't want to make it outrageously expensive. And then just a feature light on above the dining table, I felt like is something that would look nice. And then here with the bathrooms, they're pretty much same, so I cut down the downstairs bathroom in the video quite a bit. And we are using the sleek bathroom kit a lot in here with the more blue, was it blue? Yeah, the blue bathroom. So it's like it's not a blue, but it is blue, but it's not in your face blue. But yeah, I really like the sleek bathroom kit as well. So I've said that before. I really think that kits have come a very long way ever since they introduced them. And yeah, here we cut through the upstairs bathroom because I just feel like that the bathrooms were or would be like very similar in this house. So I just decided to have both bathrooms in that same color. And obviously the bathroom in the master bedroom is a double sink bathroom, and it has a tub and a shower. And yeah, just doing some clutter items there with the toothbrushes and a little rug here. I also really like the divider that came with that kit. It's just so nice, and so it just looks a lot better than especially the original showers we used to have only. And I love this wall light or wall lamp. I have been using that so frequently, and it's so like you can use it outside if you really wanted to, but I'm also using it as a night light beside the bed. Instead of putting it on the bedside table, I just put it right next to the beds. It's just really, I just love it, and it gives off such a nice light. And then we go to the next room where we have the color yellow. That was a bit more difficult, I gotta admit, and I think it turned out to be more golden than yellow, but it still counts, I'd say. And I just made it like a little room that kind of has all the things in there. It has a little treadmill in there, a little desk, because I don't know why, but I'm assuming the person that lives here or the main moneymaker of this family is a doctor. I don't know why. It's just what the vibe I was getting while I was furnishing it. A little pottery station, and of course the almost obligatory easel. And then I realized I probably should start placing the windows down to make it a bit easier for me to put the wall decorations up. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed this, and I might do another challenge like this with colors, but more like in a like more the lighter colors, like light blue and pastel pink and whatnot. So yeah, that if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments. And we are back with the extra room, I guess, the office / workout / hobby room. And I just thought that they have, all their degrees or whatnot on the wall, and just, showing them off a bit, and why not? They worked hard for that. So yeah, how has everyone been doing? What is going on? It's just past Mother's Day here where I was. I don't know about where you are, but we had Mother's Day yesterday, I think. And we had lovely dinner, or lovely lunch actually. And just gave my husband's mom a few gifts and whatnot. And we're very busy with prom and end of school year, end of high school. So yeah, very exciting times here. But yeah, let me know what you have been up to, what you're looking forward to. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what the expansion packs are that we're gonna get, because it's May. I think we're at the end of their roadmap, and we should be getting a new roadmap soon. So that'll be exciting. But yeah, let's go back to the building and furnishing the main master, or the main or slash master bedroom. The color that I got to furnish it was white, and I didn't want it to be too white because that would have reminded me just of a hospital and would have been too clinical. So whenever I used the white filter option, I usually, I try to have it a bit more off-white colored, so it is not like a hospital room. And here you actually see me using those wall lights as night lights right next to the bed. I don't know, I just feel like they are really made for that as well. Putting in some doors because I realized I am missing a few doors. And yeah, the inspiration, I guess, for this upstairs master area, master bedroom, bathroom area, was a bit like Carrie Bradshaw's apartment when she was still living by herself in her apartment, not with Big, where she has that bedroom, and then you walk through her closet into the bathroom. And I just thought that might be a nice thing to do up here, since the entire upstairs is just like the main bedroom, bathroom area and nothing else. I tried to put a little bit of color in it with a few plants and paintings on the wall. And then obviously whenever we clutter up the makeup room, there's gonna be a few more colored items in there. I just thought that the woman that lives there has her own vanity in the bedroom. It's very handy, I can tell you that, because I have one too. And then the closet was green. Now, this is not green, this is more like an off turquoise kind of green, but that's the color that came up whenever I clicked on it, so it is green. Those storage things, I don't even know what they're called, cubicles or closet cubicles, they were clipping into the wall, and I just couldn't get them to not clip. So I was like, you know what, whatever, I want that's the look we're going for, and that's just what it's gonna be. Chances are you're not gonna see that anyways whenever you play with the house, if you play with it. So yeah, we're just hanging up a few clothes, but I just really felt that they would have a his and her side of the closet, and just have a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes. I imagine him to like watches, expensive watches, whatever the sim name of those brands is. And she probably also likes her fancy purses, so I put in a few purses there too. Some storage containers, lots of shoes, some magazines on her side where she probably is like, oh look, doesn't this look nice, this dress and whatnot, and he's just, he doesn't care anymore, as long as they're not, as long as he doesn't have to do all the shopping. I think he's fine with that. Yeah, him putting in a few like cologne items for him, and then all the watches. I don't know why, I just feel like he would have a collection of watches to go with his different colored suits and clothing items. And then the phone and the keys would be sitting there just for him to probably often forget him. And then here the purse. I really feel like this is like this looks like a very expensive purse to me. And then, as I said in the beginning of the video, the hallway was in purple. Now there's not a lot of room, so I just did the walls, and I put a yoga mat there because I felt like they're kind of into yoga, both of them. And that was it. And then I went back to the outside to add a few more red items and a bit more greenery and some pots and plants, so it looks like somebody is actually living there. I put a ceiling fan in there because I just felt like they are the kind of people that sit there in summer and have their ceiling fan on. So a swing set, although I don't know if the teenage girl would still use them. You might, you never know. I thought about doing this smooth keeper, but then I decided that's not the vibe we're going with. So I opted to use a lot of the flowers from the debug menu to just make it look more lush and green and just flowery and give it a bit more color and life to it, I guess. But I really liked how the outside also turned out with all the different kinds of bushes and flowers, and it just looks really nice, I feel like. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you want to see something specific, or you have any ideas on what I could do next, or how to even improve my building skill, because that's what we're here for. Let's not forget about that. Just let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, and do your YouTube thing, and every little bit would help my little channel grow, and I would be very thankful for that. And I hope I'll see you soon in one of my next videos. Bye!